Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about Azorius Artifacts in Standard. This is a deck that is super cool and recently got very, very good with the printing of United Battlefront. We're going to talk about card choices in the deck, the overall strategy of the deck, and how to play the deck. Let's jump into it. Look, I found an artifact. A double dagger. Whoa, this is black and red, not Azorius. Come on. So this is Azorius Artifacts. What this deck is effectively attempting to do, there's nothing really to look at with the lands, it's just blue-white lands, is put as many artifacts on the battlefield as possible that allow you to do good things, and then trigger Simulacrum Synthesizer as many times as you can to get a bunch of constructs that are absolutely massive because we have a lot of artifacts on the battlefield. So Simulacrum Synthesizer is our big payoff in this deck. It's a 3-mana artifact. When this artifact enters Scry 2, already fine. And whenever another artifact you control with mana value 3 or greater enters, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. With this token gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So it's like an Urza Saga token effectively. And is always going to be massive because we have so many artifacts in the deck. This deck has recently rose to prominence and being like kind of like seeping into tier 2 because of United Battlefront. It used to totally rely on Kayla's reconstruction, which is fine. But United Battlefront is a 4-mana sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 non-creature, non-land permanent cards of mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest of the body of your library in a random order. So this is effectively our entire deck besides other United Battlefronts, Kayla's Reconstruction, and Thousand Moon Smithy. Being able to put those onto the battlefield for 4 mana is insanely good. And also, Simulacrum Synthesizer does not trigger on casting artifacts. It triggers on artifacts entering. So that's just absolutely disgusting. And then Kayla's Reconstruction, is a slightly better United Battlefront. Is a 3-mana and X sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put X artifacts under creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in random order. So it's slightly worse, but effectively does what United Battlefront is attempting to do. Actually, in the deep late game, it's probably better than United Battlefront now that I think about it. And then all of these artifacts that we are trying to put on the battlefield to make Simulacrum Synthesizer better and to grab off of these United Battlefronts and Kayla's Reconstructions are all just attempting to get you to hit your land drops and to be able to survive. So we're playing 3 Candy Trail. Candy Trail is a 1-mana artifact. Enters Scry 2, so you can filter our draws. You pay 2 mana, sacrifice the artifact, gain 3 life, draw a card. So this allows us to filter our draws and survive. That's great. We're playing Clayfired Bricks. Clayfired Bricks is a 2-mana artifact. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You gain 2 life, and it has craft with artifact, meaning if you have a artifact in your graveyard, you can pay 7 mana, exile the artifact from your graveyard, and transform it. Where when it enters, it creates 2 1/1 gnome artifact creature tokens, and creatures you control get +1/+1. This is another option for deep late game, but really we're just attempting to gain life and hit our land drops. Play 2 High Noon. High Noon's a 2-mana enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. We can pay 5 mana, sacrifice it, and deals 5 damage to any target, which doesn't, I don't believe there's a way to produce red mana in this deck, so we can kind of ignore that. The reason we're playing High Noon is because of the Corey Steelcutter is at prowess decks, especially in the main deck, in a deck that we can like kind of grab off of United Battlefront. It's very strong. We're playing 4 Spring-Loaded Sawblades. Spring-Loaded Sawblade is a 2-mana artifact with flash. When this artifact enters, it deals 5 damage to target tapped creature an opponent controls. So very good against aggressive decks and really decks that are attempting to kill you. So it lets you survive. Has crafted artifact for 4 mana, and it flips into tap 2 other untapped artifacts you control. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. It also has crew 1. It's a 5/5, flips into a 5/5 vehicle. A way to stop decks from attacking us, but also a way to deal damage and be a alternate win condition in the mid and late game. We're playing 3 the Iron Crag. The Iron Crag is a 2-mana legendary artifact. We can tap it to add a colorless. That is all that matters. You don't need to read the rest of it. We're playing Mana Rock so that we can get more mana faster, or the ability to cast in these big payoffs even faster and maybe even double spelling. We're playing 4 Perilous Snare. Perilous Snare is a 3-mana artifact with Start Your Engines. which means you get a speed. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this artifact leaves the battlefield. And at max speed, so at 4 speed, you can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter target creature or vehicle you control and activate that only as a sorcery. This is an artifact O-ring. Being able to exile things and be removal is just so important. We're playing 3 Braided Net. Braided Net is a 3-mana artifact. It enters with 3 net counters on it. We can tap it and remove a net counter from this artifact. To tap another target non-land permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it remains tapped. That's craft artifact for 2 mana, flips into Braided Cupu, or I don't know how to say that, is a 4 mana, has ability that has 4 mana, and tap it, draw a card for each artifact you control, then put this artifact on top of its library, 3rd from the top. So it is flips into something that is very good in the late game, but also can help you survive in the mid game, and triggers Simulacrum Synthesizer. We're playing a Cryptic Coat. Cryptic Coat is a 3-mana artifact equipment. When it enters, cloak the top card of your library, then attach this equipment to it, which just puts something face down with ward 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked. You can pay 2 mana to return this equipment to its owner's hand. Just another threat, something that triggers Simulacrum Synthesizer, and something that's really hard to get to go away, because if they answer the creature, you can just kind of reset it. We're playing Repurposing Bay. Repurposing Bay is a 3-mana artifact. You can pay 2 mana, sacrifice another artifact, and then search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact's mana value. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle, activate only as a sorcery. So this is effectively a birthing pod for artifacts. It's good. Like, this allows us to cash in artifacts that aren't doing anything for other ones, to trigger Simulacrum Synthesizer a whole bunch, to kind of take advantage of one-ofs in our deck, like Cryptic Coat and Thousand Moon Smithy and things like that, to be able to toolbox our deck, which is solid. Speaking of Thousand Moon Smithy, it's a 4-mana legendary artifact. When it enters, create a white gnome soldier artifact creature token with this token's power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts and creatures you control. And at the beginning of your first main phase, you may tap 5 untapped artifacts and/or creatures you control. If you do, transform Thousand Moon Smithy. It transforms into Barracks of the Thousand, where it taps for a white mana, and whenever you cast an artifact or creature spell using mana produced by Barracks of the Thousand, create a white gnome artifact creature token with this token's power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts and or creatures you control. So this allows us to have another way to kill very reasonably easily with Simulacrum Synthesizer. And also we're playing it as a one-of. It's a little expensive for this deck, but we can search it up with Repurposing Bay, which is really solid. So again, the main deck is entirely centered around surviving as long as possible with all of these artifacts, casting a bunch of United Battlefronts and Killers Reconstructions to put Simulacrum Synthesizers on the battlefield to get a bunch of really big guys to then kill our opponent with. As far as the sideboard goes, we're playing 3 Authority of the Consuls. Authority of the Consul is a 1 white enchantment. Creatures your opponent control enter tapped. Whenever a creature and opponent control enters, you gain 1 life. So this turns off haste, very good against aggressive decks. We're playing 2 Get Lost, a 2-mana instant, destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Its controller creates 2 map tokens. Pretty unconditional removal just for 2 mana, which is very powerful. We're playing 2 Rest in Peace, a 2-mana enchantment. When it enters, exile all graveyards. If a card or token we put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. It's just excellent graveyard hate. We're playing for Temporary Lockdown. Temporary Lockdown is a 3-mana enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Very good against these small creature aggressive decks, though notably it gets rid of a lot of our artifacts, so we kind of have to be careful when we cast Temporary Lockdown and know that when we're siding in things for Temporary Lockdown. Playing 2 Negate, counter target non-creature spell. Just having that is really good against combo decks and control decks and things. And we're playing 2 the Stone Brain. The Stone Brain is a 2-mana legendary artifact. You can pay 2 mana, tap it, exile the Stone Brain, choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. That player then shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Activate only as a sorcery. Very good against the combo decks and decks that rely on very specific cards. There you have Azorius Artifacts in Standard. If you liked this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.